Now that we've averaged the data, it's time to take a look at the averaged ERP waveforms with ERPLAB Plot ERP Waveforms. So we select that. That brings up this complicated window here, but many of these things we can just leave at default values. I want to orient you to this little part here that allows you to indicate which bins you want to include. And you get a little pop-up menu here that tells you which bins are available. You can also indicate what channels you want to plot, the time range you want to plot, and a variety of other options. So we're just going to use the default parameters here and click Plot. And we do that, and here we can see our different ERP waveforms for our different channels. Now you can see some high frequency noise in some of these channels, like up here at FZ. And so a common thing that you would want to do at this point would be to filter out the high frequencies with a low pass filter. So let's look at how we would do that. So we'll close this window screen and close that, and we'll go to ERPLAB, Filter and Frequency Tools, Filters for ERP Data. Now the methods that we use for filtering ERPs and EEG are virtually identical, and so the windows for EEG and ERPs are almost the same. So whatever you learn from this will easily apply to filtering the EEG before averaging. Okay, so we select that, and it shows us here the default filter, which is a 30 Hertz low pass filter. That is a filter that filters out high frequencies, and this is the frequency response function of that filter. And if you want to, you can select a steeper filter by going up to maybe 36 decibels per octave, and that gives you a steeper roll-off. And a steeper roll-off can be good because you're not going to filter out as much of the stuff that you want to keep, but it can be bad because it can lead to more distortion of your data in the time domain. And if you want to know the details of that, you can read the chapter on filtering in my book on ERP methods. Okay, so let's just leave these parameters as they are with 36 decibels per octave, and we have our cutoff frequency at 30 Hertz. You could also select a high-pass filter, but in general I wouldn't recommend high-pass filtering, that is filtering out low frequencies, from epoch data and averaged ERPs. You'd really want to do that from your continuous data. Okay, so after averaging, very rarely would you apply a high-pass filter. So we're just going to do low-pass filtering at 30 Hertz. So we just click the Apply button, and it's going to operate on all of our channels here. And after a moment, it gives us this window for saving the new ERP. So let's make the ERP name here S1 ERPs 30 Hertz. And we're not going to bother saving it to disk. So we click OK, and now we have a filtered data file. To see that, now we can just go to ERPLAB Plot ERP Waveforms, use all the same default parameters as before, and now we can see that the data are much smoother looking than they were before.